Hello, welcome to Tarot C. This evening, well, it's evening here. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good evening if you're in Australia. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I wanted to have a look at this guy here. Now, this is Brooklyn Beckham. Wanted to have a look at Brooklyn. I just thought I'd ask the cards for a little bit of energy, like a little energy reading. I don't know much about these two. Very, very little. So you're in the same boat as I am. So I just thought this was a good probably a little test of how I can, I can try and ask the cards for some clarification. I was just wanting to know what the cards think. What do the cards see? That's more important because, it's really pointless for me, because I really don't know anything about these people. I don't understand the fascination. But what I do know is that recently, apparently, this man, what's his name? Brooklyn, dissed his parents, created a little bit of a wave in energy. So that's what I want to ask the cards tonight. So let's play cards. I'm going to ask the Aurea Consilia, and I'm also going to ask the Oculus Animi. I have been shuffling and looking at these photos. So what I want to do, I just give them another little shuffle because I did do a thorough shuffle just before I started. So I will keep the image up because that's what I'm looking at, and I'm trying to, I don't really know. I don't know much about them, so I don't really, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. Really, I'm not too bothered, but I am interested in hearing what the cards or seeing what the cards say. So the first ones I'm going to do something a little bit different. I thought today what I'll do is we'll spread them out. And I will ask, I want to do a pair. And I got my candle, got the candle out. That's good. Let's just move my beads around a little bit. Okay, let's have Brooklyn Beckham. What's going on with Brooklyn Beckham? What's his energy? What's he doing here? Now, I'm going to just pop that there. And because I normally do twin cards, so I'm going to just pop that there for a second and one across. These are the two cards. And I think we're going to put an extra one there. And then I'm going to ask the Aurea Consilia for some energy above this situation, above and below. And let's see what the Aurea Consilia tell us about energy. Okay, energy. Don't drop, don't. Now, I have this microphone in front of my face, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult to shuffle. Well, because I feel like I've got this obstruction, this thing in my face. I think we're going to split them like we normally do, but I just want to give them one little. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to take whatever splits, and then I'll put the card that was about to come out, the one underneath, I'll put that below. That's above. And this is below. Oh, the below is the Garden of Eden. So the below is a bit of stress, mental stress. Um, not very tranquil. Okay. Do we have enough space? So underneath all of this is and let's get rid of the picture for a second, because what I will do now is what I'll do is I'll pop that card here. I'll pop that there. Whoops. How do I do this? Oh, here. I'm going to I'm going to put the card there for you to have a look at. That's the Garden of Eden, but it's in reverse. So the sanctuary, the peace of mind, would be this way. So underneath this situation, we've sort of got some twisted. There's no sanctuary. There's no peace of mind. So this is the card of mindfulness, of tranquility, mental and emotional state. Undisturbed, but there's something disturbing here. There's mental disturbance. I would say, just right now, I would say someone has some issues underneath this. Above the situation, the energy above the situation is a spark has been delivered, an inspiration. Accept delivery of an inspired idea. This is the way that I read it, just in terms of the energy before we look at any cards. A disturbed person, disturbed mentally. Now, I don't want to. How am I going to say this in a nice way? I'm not saying that he's mentally disturbed. I'm saying that he's open to manipulation. He's not the full quid, if you know what I mean. He's not there's something not at peace, and someone has delivered an idea, because that's an idea that's turned into, like, that it's time to put it into action. So I would say that the inspiration it has been delivered. So this is over this situation, that someone came along and put a spark under his ass, and he put it into action. Now, I don't know who that is, but we'll have a look in a second, because this is the card. This card is the twin cards. Oh, it's to do with money. He's like, it's to do with money, a sense of feeling proud. But so the thing that's preventing this from feeling proud about where he's at is memory. So this is the glass half empty. Glass half empty. So it's like, I have all these things, I have all these feelings, but I feel like something's missing. I feel like he's got the money, he's got the wealth, the success, he's got the ability to manifest things on the earth. He's got all that ability to do that. But he feels like lost out, like he's kind of had a realization. Well, I don't know if it's a realization. Whoever planted this seed has made him reassess his feelings, because heaven is giving him, like, he's so well. Let me show you, like, this way up. This is about, be careful about the glass half empty, because there are other things. You might be focused on what you're doing right now, but something's being presented to you. So don't just, it's like a missed opportunity. So in this way, it's a bit like maybe an awakening. Like, I feel like it's an awakening, but I think it was a manipulated awakening in a sense. It's still the same set of circumstances. It's about realization, about awakening in a sense. But someone has made him, it's been through someone else's, because that's also something about how I read, is like when the card's upside down, it's really someone else, in a sense, has a hand in this. So he was feeling, he wants to feel proud of his, achievements, but he can't at the moment. That's what was stopping him. This feeling was preventing him from feeling that. And that feeling has been generated by someone else. And this is also about feeling. So this is confirmed in both the Aurea Consilia and also in the Oculus Animi. They're very kind of similar energies. So I feel what the cards are saying to me is a confirmation of disturbed feelings, wanting to feel happy, wanting to feel like I've achieved many things in my life. I've been able to make things manifest, but someone is making him feel someone's making him feel a bit lousy and questioning how much he has and what he could have got. I should have more, but he's not seeing it because he's focused on these feelings. Feelings, walking away, a fear of change, emotional drain, time out, burnt out, actually. So our feelings here are burnt out. Our feelings are burnt out. There's a lot of feeling drainage. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to ask the Aurea Consilia again. Let me just pop the screen back. Do you think it's the wife? Or do you think he's always been a bit of a a-hole? He doesn't, we love to, I would love to think, like that isn't that terrible? That's very harsh, Jam. Like, I can only go by, when I look at him, I always thought this one, the mother was a little bit, I don't know, was never a fan of the mother. She just really she just rubs me up the wrong way. I don't know what it is about her. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. And this is personal, like real Jam personal thing, is that, I'm a little bit jealous. I'm going to admit I'm a little bit jelly that that because she's got a lot of money, she can just walk in and become a fashion designer and become successful because of who she married. She had her own, Jam, she was successful in her own right as a Spice Girl. But certainly, and she's done very little to really deserve. A lot of people admire her because she was a Spice Girl. So I suppose there's a part of me, Victoria, I will say, I'm going to be honest, I am, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not going to even pretend that I am. But yeah, in terms of, I've busted my ass working in the clothing industry, and I do feel like, in terms of, being able to walk in and, having a label and doing all this stuff, I kind of go, yeah, whatever, I'm not really invested. But your son, on the other hand, I really don't know what he's like. The fact that, I must say though, because I love to cook, I do have there's a little bit of I do have a soft spot for the fact that he actually cooks, and he went to learn to cook, and he must have worked in a restaurant. So that, I have to say, he doesn't come across as your normal, is it Nippo baby? Nepotism. Yeah, he doesn't come across as the normal kind of Hollywood, son of a star, but obviously there must be a little bit of it. I was just looking at this photo. She caught my eye. She's caught my. I've got a funny feeling about the girl. I've got a funny feeling about the girl. Manipulation. The manipulation card. Now we all know who this is designed. Now let me just. I will. I'll just put this here, because as I edit, I will put this card here for you to have a look at. Distortion at work, the act of controlling or influencing the fabric of the universe about perception. So there's the fabric of the universe, and we have this duchess here, the black-haired duchess, who manipulates energies of the universe to make it look like the way she wants it to look like. Understand the tactics being used. Spiritual, metaphysical, psychological, and emotional manipulation. I would have it a guess, it's only a guess, it's only what the Oculus Animi are telling me, that the person who inspired this action has huge manipulation energy around them. Sorry, little interjection here. I had to cut in because I was editing, and I suddenly had a feeling. I had this card, the manipulation card, I had described to you a certain duchess. I mean, that's when I created the card, and the card of manipulation, and the distorting time and the fabric of the universe. This black-haired, it's like the magician really, came up. And so I had fashioned this card around the energies of a particular duchess. It just occurred to me though. So I need to ask you, because again, I'm not 100% sure. Does Brooklyn Beckham, does he know Meghan Markle and Harry? Are they friends? Because it sort of just occurred to me that who had initiated the spark, who was talking to them about certain things, and who has motivations to upset the mother. Now, I don't know. I'm asking questions. I have no idea. I don't have any proof. It's just a question. It's just interesting that the card that came up was a card that, in all of my Aurea Consilia cards, this magician type figure is actually based on a person that I have spoken about a lot. So I just wanted to sort of interject and sort of, I just needed to get it out of my head that as I was doing this reading, I sort of didn't realize that the person, apart from, yes, it could be the wife, the other person could be a person outside. Remember I said the cards are upside down, so it often for me means a person, another person. So could this be an outsider? Could via, now I don't know, as I said, I don't know if they're friends, I don't know if they speak, I don't know if they've seen recently together, but you may have something. If you do know, let me know in the comments. I'm very interested to find out. So I'll leave it here and continue with the reading. I think what we're seeing, so I believe, which was, I split the cards and now I can't remember which one was the, which one was which. Let me put him back up again. I would say, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I feel. I feel that what Brooklyn is saying, he feels, like he believes. I'm not saying that it's not true. He obviously feels a great deal. He feels the Garden of Eden in reverse. He feels the Four of Cups in reverse. He really does want to, he's like the Eight of Cups. He feels the energy of the Eight of Cups. He feels the burnout. That is real. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. I don't believe so I'm just looking at this energy here. I don't really believe that in terms of him and his parents, I don't believe the energy is, let me just quickly change the screen so you can see me shuffling. In terms of his mother and father and him, let's just, so this is underneath the surface, to do with him and his parents. It's alone or together. Alone or together. Are you on this journey alone, or are you, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go a long way, you pick a good partner. That's basically the energy of this card. I think that between his parents and himself, it's the bride. It's the character of his partner. He's not. I think this is what they would want. This is what they would hope, especially David. No, and I think Victoria too. That's what I feel. It's just that they see the situation as reversed. They do not think that the partnership is great. Sorry. Again, I'll do this. So one, you can see the card, and I will place the card on the side there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I was wondering how the cards would communicate that to me. But I think that's a very clear message of this person who manipulates. And I don't think I think early on the parents saw the manipulation. Now, of course, we have to remember, like in terms of in-laws and partnerships and stuff like that, not all parents are going to think that their daughter-in-law is manipulative. But when it does happen, what do you do? And I don't know, I don't know the full extent. I don't know the whole story. I just had a vision, I just had a vision of a woman walking into a family and not wanting to be part of a team. That's what I felt. I had just a little kind of a glimpse. It was like a little window in. I just saw a person, like a young woman, with a guard up. Not, I kind of got the feeling of not team player. Now that, of course, you want things to go all your way, but I think, in normal family dynamics, and I'm sure everyone has seen good family dynamics. And good family dynamics are a little bit of give and take on all parts. The son, the daughter, all the in-laws. There's a little bit of give and take, a little bit of, understanding that sometimes there's compromises, sometimes, because you all there's that real desire to want to get along. And I think that's what's missing here, is that I think this manipulation tactic from the beginning was about winning. And I have a feeling, quickly put that back up again. I have a feeling that, they saw it. I don't know why I'm saying it, because I really, as you know, like, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they started off this thinking that whoever walked into their family was an a-hole, if you get what I mean. I think there were issues and it just grew. It was just like, I think so. Yeah, everything was out of whack. Everything, my friends, was out of whack. Everything was upside down. It just was not, the energy wasn't great. Okay, well, I love it, because as you know, I didn't know much about this story. I still don't. But if you do, if you've been along for the ride, and the energy under it was the devil. That was the energy underneath, unreversed. There is a need to, it hasn't surfaced yet. This is down the track. Like this, the energy is still, things are not right, but also things are not right. But it's about this need, this addiction to looking right, to being right. This couple is seriously, like, they need to turn that upside. There's this addiction. So they want to break free. That's what they're kind of suggesting to the world. They want to break free. But I don't think they have much to break free from. Well, I don't believe what they're saying they want to break free from is necessarily true. I think there's this huge distortion. There was a bit of distortion. Everything's upside down. But I'm just having a look. I'm just taking a closer look at the image. Yeah, and if my friend Happink is watching, I'll just have to show her this, because we had a chat about that this morning. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for coming for this little ride with me. Thank you to the cards, and I will be back shortly with another reading. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. All right, bye.